Hello everyone, and welcome back to my 2024 candidate profile videos, where we take a look at the candidates seeking nominations for the presidency of the United States. We've profiled some of the Republicans running, and we've profiled the presumptive Democratic nominee, the current President Joe Biden. Today we are going to be profiling another Republican candidate, the former governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie, who served from 2008 and I'm sorry, 2010 until 2018. Christie was elected in 2009, part of a wave of candidates that won during that time, who were Republicans, who rode a backlash to the Affordable Care Act, which was nearing passage at the time. Prior to becoming governor of New Jersey, Christie served as U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, and he served from 2002 to 2008, the end of 2008, when he left that to begin his campaign for the governorship of New Jersey. Christie ran in 2016 and kind of focused all his effort on New Hampshire. He fared very poorly in New Hampshire, dropped out after that, and endorsed Donald Trump. He became the first major candidate to endorse Trump after leaving the race. Christie, during the 2016 campaign, would be a very active surrogate for Trump. Was considered to be his running mate for some time. There's some people that speculate he was one of the final two. Although with stories about Trump and that nature, you really never know the truth just because of Donald Trump's kind of shaky relationship with the truth, and people sometimes inflating their own credentials. But what is not in dispute is that Christie headed up Trump's transition until shortly after Trump won, at which point he was fired, allegedly because of his relationship with Jared Kushner and Mike Flynn, and was replaced by Mike Pence. And allegedly, what happened is that all of the documents and briefing books that Christie had prepared to ensure a smooth transition in the unlikely event that Donald Trump would win were thrown in the dumpster, and the Trump team just went with their gut. And boy, we saw how that went. That is part of the reason you had the parade of people that would go to Trump Tower and go up the elevator to meet with then President-elect Trump. During the Trump presidency, he was a very active surrogate of the president and the administration, and was very forceful in his defense, and was an active supporter. There were times when people thought that Trump might bring him in as a chief of staff at certain points during the Trump presidency. In 2020, he was a debate preparation partner for then President Trump, and really, tried to help Trump have a good debate performance. He contracted COVID during that time from Trump, and came down with a pretty severe case of COVID afterwards. And he broke with Trump because of January 6th. After the attack on the Capitol on January 6th, Christie became very forceful in criticizing Trump, and criticizing Trump for inciting the riot and a mob that attacked the Capitol. And he also was critical of Trump for not calling for the violence at the Capitol to end sooner than those really lackluster statements that Trump put out on January 6th. He's running a very anti-Trump campaign. He's made it very clear that the criminal charges against Trump are very serious. He's made clear that there's no circumstance under which he could support Trump's reelection or Trump's election again to the White House, a return to the White House for Trump should he be the nominee. He's made clear, though, that he wouldn't support President Biden, but he also has made clear he can't support Trump. He's a very conservative man, but he's running a very moderate campaign, and that's in contrast to other candidates in the race. Mike Pence is running a very socially conservative campaign. He's running more of a traditionalist Republican campaign on the foreign policy issues. May it be more of a return to a Bush-era style foreign policy. He's running, though, a very conservative campaign on economic and social issues. And then you have Ron DeSantis, who is running a stridently far-right campaign on social issues and economic issues, and running a very right-wing populist message on foreign policy. And, if Trump falters and has to leave the race, Christie's argument could be, in a general election, I'm the more electable candidate. It won't be as much of a pivot for him to reach out to independent voters as it will be for Pence or DeSantis if they were the nominee. He has the ability to say, I won in a very blue state. I attracted Democratic voters in both elections. I can win in areas Republicans don't traditionally win in. And he could point to Pence and DeSantis and say, y'all come from traditionally Republican states. Y'all, great, we win in those states all the time, but what about blue areas? So he would have an easier time attracting more moderate voters. The counter argument to that would be, true, you did win in a blue state, but you ran and won at times that were really beneficial to Republicans. President Obama was not doing so well in the polls when you ran, and you left office with a single-digit approval rating, and the governor, your lieutenant governor, got trounced in the election to replace you. So, anti-Trump campaigns have not fared well in Republican primaries. Republican primary voters have not really shown an appetite for an anti-Trump candidate. There's a reason your average Republican elected official does not go after Trump, because it can sign their political death warrant, and they really don't want to deal with the BS, but the BS from Trump supporters that comes with it, and the attention that comes with it from your more mainstream media outlets. But Christie's trying to reverse that trend, and he's trying to break into that third or fourth place candidate in the polling, and trying to position himself well if one of the major two candidates falters, and we shall see. Christie's a candidate to keep your eye on. he's one of those candidates that it's going to be interesting to see how he fares. But like I said, I still think on the Republican side, this is, despite his legal troubles, Donald Trump is probably still today the presumptive Republican nominee. And in that case, Joe Biden wins a overwhelming second term. And obviously, I'm a Biden supporter, but the issue will then become Trump and Biden. That will be the only issue discussed. Now, granted, we'll discuss that in another video.